I started my PhD in 2015 at the School of Mathematics and Statistics of the University of Canterbury. I actually didn't know that there's a huge literature on mathematics in Sanskrit and astronomy in Sanskrit. But I was initially interested in Shilpa texts, architecture and sculpture. But while I was reading these Shilpa texts, I came to know that there's a huge literature on astronomy and mathematics. And what I did in my PhD is that I worked on Sripati Siddhanta Sekara and Gantatha Tilaka. Siddhanta Sekara has actually two chapters on mathematics. One is on arithmetic and the other one is on algebra. So my thesis was on Sripati's arithmetic. So Gantatha Tilaka is totally dedicated for arithmetic. And what I did in my thesis was I translated the chapter on arithmetic into English. It had actually translated by Singha as well, but it was not mathematically analyzed. So I actually collected three. I was fortunate to find actually three new manuscripts which had not actually used by the original or the editor, the previous editor, Babuaji Mishra. So he had used only three manuscripts, and I could find three new manuscripts. New mean the manuscripts that he did not use. So I re-edited this 13th chapter with new manuscripts, and I actually was able to restore some of the verses using the new manuscripts. And Babuaji Mishra actually could not do it because there were some lapses in his manuscripts. And I comparatively studied these two arithmetic texts, Vyaktaganitadhyaya of the Siddhanta Sekara and the Gantatha Tilaka by Sripati. And what I wanted to understand was in which contexts actually they use these mathematical rules and how they executed these operations. And the commentary by Singhatilaka Suri on Gantatha Tilaka was very, very helpful in understanding how actually they executed these operations, because the original authors of these Sanskrit mathematical texts give just the rules. They just give the verses, and the rules are in verses. So we know this rule works, and we verify using modern mathematics to show that these rules work. But we don't know how actually they practiced them, how they calculated them, and where they put these numbers, and whether they use the same execution method that we use today. So I wanted to understand that, and I use Singhatilaka Suri's explanations. Sometimes he very clearly explain step by step how to execute these operations. He says you have to put numbers on the top and the other numbers one under the other one, and where to place these other numbers and so on, how to move these numbers, all these we cannot understand all these steps, but to some extent we know how these executions were done. So that was one of the aim of my research. And the other one I wanted to address was in which context they used them. We know basically they use mathematics for astronomy, for astronomical calculations, to make the calendar. That was the main purpose of practicing mathematics. But other than that, they actually practice mathematics. They use mathematics for trade and for some day-to-day life, mainly for trade and other monetary things. So this is what I did. It was I was very fascinated. I mean, initially my understanding of Sanskrit mathematical texts, mathematical literature was very poor. But while I was doing, I was very fascinated how these people, ancient our ancestors, actually explore this area, and they have produced hundreds of texts, commentaries, and there are a lot of things to do. And somebody come and actually work on this mathematical text.
Any verse you remember?
There are lots of fascinating verses, because these are they amalgamated rasas, chandas, science, mathematics, everything into these texts. I'll try. You can if this is you can cut and paste these things. One is I am not sure I can recite it correctly, but I'll find